Welcome. NSG 322. Study Section 6. Teaching Methods. Instructional Alternatives. Introduction. In this study section, you will be introduced to various teaching methods as known as instructional alternative used as teacher, which would help you to achieve the instructional objective. There is no teaching method that can be said to be better than the other. Instead, they complement each other. Learning outcomes. When you have studied this section, you should be able to identify different instructional alternatives. Describe the technical of each instructional alternative. Explain the merits and demerits of each instructional alternative. Identify instructional alternatives suitable for a particular lesson. Teaching methodology. There are methods, means, or ways that we use to teach material to our students. Our choice of methods depend on what we want to teach, content, who we are teaching, and the level of competence expected. There are so many methods and literatures to be used: unit method, demonstration method, laboratory, discussion, small, large groups, audiovisual, field trips, symposium, workshops or seminar, programmed instruction, case method, team teaching, role playing. By and large, there is no one best method of teaching in a particular situation. Utilizing the method effectively depends on the skill of the teacher and the prevailing circumstances behind teaching or learning process. Unit method consists of clarification and explanation of facts, principle and relationship with the teacher, wishes the class to understanding. During the unit, the teacher talks, the learner listening. Take notes and does not talk to the teacher at all. No questioning. In the unit method, questions are limited and come only at the end of the unit. Main purpose is first to put across various facts and principles. Secondly, it stimulates the learner for further explanation of facts. You are not given every required fact during the unit. The unit is to supplement students' reading assignments. Unit method is used a lot in institutions of higher learning. Preparation for the unit. The teacher should set a goal or have an objective for the class. The teacher must be a scheme for each unit. Outlines or notes. The outline of the unit guides the teacher to touch specific points. The outline must have specific headings and subheadings so that ideas are arranged in sequence. There must be organization. Aids should be appropriately fixed where needed. Techniques of unit method. Some techniques have been identified as contributing effective units. Establish contracts with the learner quickly. The pace of delivery should be within capacity of the learner. No rushing. Speaking in a pace that learner can note. The voice must be clear and natural. Summarize as the appropriate places. This allows a break before the next topic. Advantages of this method. A lot of materials or information provided in a limited time. Motivate students to explore more knowledge, e.g. by reading through references. It saves time and more economical, that is 50 to 300 students or more to a unit. Unlike demonstration class, which may not take more than 20 to 30 at a time. It allows for flexibility of content, that is, the content can be expanded, modified, or condensed to suit the particular audience. Disadvantages. Little students, observable participations, although active mentally by taking notes and thinking of possible questions. The teacher careless whether individual learner understands the lesson or not. Limits teacher or learner rapport. Demonstration. Demonstration can be simply defined as planned instruction and performance. During this demonstration process, there is visual and concrete presentation of content. It provides opportunity for learner to make use of more senses during period of learning. Purposes: to teach procedures and skills, to demonstrate the use of equipment, to teach clients various procedures and treatments which they must perform after discharge from hospital. Techniques for effective demonstration. Teacher must know the whole procedure before starting. Ensure that all equipment needed are ready. The group and the teacher should have advanced knowledge of general procedure, its purpose and relationship to the unit, particularly in clinical setting. During the demonstration, learner must be able to see what is being demonstrated. While performing the demonstration, emphasize what to be done and not how it should not be done. Run commentaries that are relative to the materials in use during the process. This depends on the position and situation of the class. Make corrections where necessary. The setting should be as true to life as possible. The demonstration should always be followed by a discussion period. Opportunity should be provided for prompt practice. This assists the learner to master the skill. Advantages. Make use of several senses and create correct mental picture. Correlate theories with practice. More student participation. Develop student skill, confidence, that is observational skills. Give teacher the opportunity to evaluate the students on repetition of demonstration. Increases the interest of learner because of concrete illustration. Group discussion method. It can be defined as the cooperative problem-solving activities which sees a consensus regarding the solution of a problem other than a decision by majority votes purpose, seeking of finding solution to a common problem. Techniques. Teacher must develop objective and choose appropriate topics. Provide some structure for the discussion. There should be some ground rules. Time limit for a speaker. Classroom to be arranged accordingly. Circle for eye contact. All members of the group must be aware of the problems concerned and should have knowledge of the problem. There should be a leader for the group during the discussion. The leader has some functions to perform. He should not regard himself as a unit. He is to encourage every member to participate and is to regulate all information given. The leader serves purpose of relieving tension, that is, where there is conflict of opinions, he should devise the best procedure that will enable the group to achieve the particular objective. It summarizes when appropriate. Advantages. Acquisition of skills of analysis, criticism, sharing facts and looking for facts. Encourages learner to think for himself. Teaches individual member how to adjust to social situation. Teaches cooperation, develops team spirit. Disadvantages. It is time consuming, not suitable for teaching new facts and principles. The objective for that particular session may not be achieved if the group is not organized. Not very useful in the lower educational level. Symposium. Symposium is a type of group discussion where two or more people, under directive of a chairman, present speeches or discuss a topic from several points of view. This is usually followed by audience participation. Purpose. To investigate or critically examine a topic from various perspectives. Advantages. Presents wider basis of discussion than in the unit method. It has greater organization than discussion because speeches are prepared beforehand. Disadvantages. Lack of opportunity for all students to participate actively. It is time consuming. Speakers are limited to few minutes, that is 10 to 15 minutes. To make symposium successful, plan ahead of time. Members of class should know the objective. Function of the chairman is to introduce the speakers and the topic and makes transitional statements in between speeches and makes brief comments at the end of each speech and finally before discussion is open to the audience. Panel method. A panel is a discussion in which few persons examine a topic in front of audience. During the process, different points of view are presented, commonly utilized in mass media, that is TV, radio. Not commonly utilized in classroom except you want students to have idea about techniques in panel discussion. Techniques for successful panel method. There are three components in the panel discussion: panel members, chairman, audience. The difference between this and symposium is that the audience is not seated like in symposium. Chairman directs the discussion as members express opinions. Make sure each member has equal opportunity for contribution. Chairman acts as referee, does not contribute. He introduces the topic and members express the topics for discussion. He may start the discussion by directing questions to any member of the panel. Members must be quick thinkers and communicate easily. They must represent different points of view. No rehearsals in panel discussion. Though members can jot down points in specific areas not located to members as it is in the symposium. This type of method is discussed at higher levels of education, may be used at universities, but in secondary schools. Advantages. Stimulate thoughts. helps to clarify individual with thinking or useful when group is too large to work effectively through a roundtable conference can be part of other methods. Enables audience to have an open-mind attitude and respect for the opinions of the others. Disadvantages. Does not solve the problem. Solutions. Conclusion rarely reached. As far as nursing is concerned, it is not particularly adaptable to nursing classes. May lead to or generate a lot of tension among discussants if the topic is difficult to control. Seminar method. Similar to small informal group discussion, can be defined as group discussion in which an individual makes presentation of an in-depth of a particular topic under the direction of the teacher or supervisor. It may be in form of learned person's discussion without any moderator. It is used a lot in universities and higher educational level. Purpose: to give students opportunity to participate in scientific analysis and research procedures. Utilized a lot at the graduate and postgraduate school levels. Presentation may be in form of interactive review or presentations of instruction to audience where questions are asked on such instructions, and if there are missing necessary information, there can be additions or modifications. It may be a presentation of data and opportunities provided for questions and modifications. Faculty members can organize seminars to aid postgraduate students in their fields. Seminar is limited to a small group between 15 to 25 persons, forming the audience. This is to make it effective. Effective use of this method requires background knowledge of participants in addition to skill in problem solving and skill in library work. Seminar is not utilized often in clinical settings. Exception: students can be assigned a topic to relieve them of boredom. Debate method. During debates, a statement is expressed. People then argue either in favor or against that statement. At the end of the argument, the audience signifies by raising hands the group that has more votes has won the argument. It does not necessarily mean that the group that won the argument has given the best answer. It is a matter of winning the audience interest. Techniques. 3 components in debate are debaters, chairman, and audience. The chairman allocates time for speeches to the chief speaker or their assistants. Advantages: increases logical reasoning and objective thinking. Develop library or research skill for preparation. Eliminates stage frightenings. Develop self-confidence. Students work together as partners. Develop communication skill in the public. Disadvantages: makes individuals oppose their conscience or belief. Judgments may be biased. Debate can be used to teach facts and principles. Workshop method. This refers to a group of individuals who work together towards the solution of problems in a given subject matter during a specific period. Individual has to do certain works. Examiner's workshop. Participants go to work by developing objective items that may be incorporated in the exam. Techniques. During the workshop, people participating must have similar experience in the field of planning they are investigating. It is their experience and knowledge that are used in solving the problems involved. Participants break into various items of interest, e.g., geography apart, English apart, etc. They produce progress reports. During workshop, direction, discussion, and activities are planned and carried out by the group. This method does not lend itself to the teaching of diploma students and undergraduate students generally. Although it is called workshop, but background units are often given. It develops self-skills in making items and gives background information for personal use. However, it is very expensive. Workshop can't be used at every educational level. Team teaching. This is one of the common teaching methods. It is a technique where 2 or more teachers with different preparation regularly and cooperatively carry out evaluation and teaching of students, e.g., it implies that teachers teaching a particular course develop course outline together. Techniques for successful team teaching. The topics for the course may be taught alternatively. The units of the course may be taught alternatively. Team teaching also implies that there should be regular meeting and discussion among the teachers. It utilizes all other methods of teaching. One teacher may or may not sit in while the other is teaching. This method has some advantages. Broadens quantity and competence of students. Enable teachers to teach a specialized area. Adequate information is given to learners. Creates a healthy climate in the learning situation. Increases teacher supervision. It encourages cooperative faculty relationship. Makes evaluation more objective when teacher supervision is increased. Both teacher and students benefit. Limitations or criticisms. Conflict of ideas among teachers, thereby creating confusion for students. May be viewed as an economic wastage at lower educational level, that is secondary schools, but not definitely at higher level. Conference. Conference is similarly defined as the purposeful conversation, sometimes synonymous with interview, but is more than interview. Types. Individual conference, small group conference, conferences. Purpose of individual conference is primarily to provide an opportunity to discuss the student's problem in the primary function. Principle underlying this method is that part of learning principle, which says learning is independent on the efforts of the learner. One can arrange to see the teacher to clarify confusing issues. Advantages. Enables the learner to use resources on himself to think his own problems. Once he had identified his problems, he takes initiations towards the solution of the problem. Provides opportunity for the teacher to identify learners' interests or needs. Helps learner to achieve those needs. Disadvantages. May be time consuming on the part of the teacher. Small group conference is another learning group. Members share information and affirm whether the information received are correct. They share experience. Large conferences last for few days. Learners from various places on various fields present paper. Differences, ideas, and techniques are learned. For successful individual conference, the teacher's attitude should be professional. There must be sincerity of purpose during the interaction. Learner must have confidence in teacher's ability and respect his dignity. The teacher can refer students to another authority if he is not too sure of correct answer. The case may be hypothetical or real, but sufficient information is provided for the student to be able to make decisions or reason out steps to be taken via a family situation. For example, maybe problem of funding the family when the breadwinner is admitted to the hospital for a long period and his salary is no longer regular. The method is just to find out the causes of particular problem. Case incidents is another method but very similar to case analysis, and there seems to be little or no difference. Case study and case analysis are used mostly in schools of nursing but not applicable in clinical areas. Project method. Project method is described as a scheme of something to be done or is a proposal to an undertaking, small or large scale. Any project involves the activity of the individual and the production of tangible results, and this will depend on the type of the project. That is, it may be a small project. To find out why, project method is problematic in nature. It is directed and planned by the students. There are different obtainable goals. It also involves a lot of individual mental activities of the students during the process. The project may be individual or group. Advantages. Arouses and maintain the interest of students since it is their topic. They sort it out and set the project through. Allows for individual differences. Give students freedom of thought and action by providing for guided and natural development of work undertaken. Instruction is student-centered. In individual projects, advice is given individually according to their needs. Teacher asks questions that may be helpful. says role playing. This is social drama and psychodrama. In social drama, the players exhibit interaction of people with other individual or group as represented by some of cultural roles. Social drama deals with problems faced by majority of people in exhibiting some specific roles, e.g. exhibiting the role of a leader, of a mother, of a nurse. Role-playing is the best method to teach people about attitude or attitude to change. Seeing one's an actor. In psychodrama, a group of projects acts out certain roles which are unique problems of an individual. It is utilized a lot in psychiatric settings, while the social drama can be used to depict everyday events or in classroom situations. Best method to teach attitude so that students can live through it by acting it out and they can express it out. Allows the group to get case material, hypothetical case, which can be tailored to fit specific needs and situation of the group in question. Using to practice selected behavior in real life situation without distress of making a mistake. It is a sort of rehearsal. Assist learner to develop certain skills, social interaction, problem solving, observation, analysis of stimulations. Disadvantages: time consuming, can be used to teach concrete concepts and principles. Usefulness depends on whether or not the purpose is program instruction. Program instruction is a method of self-instruction in the learner studies a subject or topic by means of a teaching machine, program booklet or pamphlet. The topic to be learned is arranged in logical sequence from simple to complex. Advantage: the learner learns at his own pace and there is immediate reinforcement of what is learned, and this motivates the learner to proceed and make through research. Disadvantage: it is not easy to develop a program instructional material. It is a very expensive method of teaching and time consuming as only a machine could be available to large group of students. The method is majorly used in advanced countries with high technology development where there are enough machines for use. Where this machine is developed to a large extent, the responsibility will be more on the learner and less services of teachers will be required. The teacher will only conduct exam for students. The process is carried out step by step. Tools for teaching, nursing care plan and process recording. Some writers may term it to be teaching method, but this school of thought term is to be tools for teaching. Nursing care plan. This is used to provide a guide to nursing care and provide for the continuity of care, provides opportunity information for other health workers caring for the particular client. It contains immediate and long-term objectives for nursing care. This helps to evaluate and discuss care plan and modify care plan as the needs of the client change. This method is applicable in classroom setting, but we can use it on clients. Process recording. This has been defined by Ed Kenyon as an exact situation report between the nurse and the claimed time they were together. It includes the record of the nurse feeling and the manner in which the client said what he said did in the situation he was describing. It is used a lot in psychiatric nursing and can also be used to evaluate interaction in any nurse-client relationship, whether cordial or hostile. It deals with communication and related skills, hence used often in psychiatric nursing because clients here have problems in communication interrelationship. For successful application, requires skills in interviewing, conversational skill, skill in identifying verbal and non-verbal communication, have listening skills which help to identify the recurrent themes in the client's conversation. Guidelines for selecting appropriate teaching method. Any method that utilizes as many staff as possible will allow for individualism and improved learning. The method to be selected to suit the objectives to be achieved, that is, in case of studying colors, demonstration. The method should suit the content being taught. Method should be chosen having in mind the intellectual, that is, maturity of the learner, that is, if teaching younger clients, middle or elder clients, methods should be within their scope. The method should follow sound psychological principles to motivate their learner and to be which can be adapted to individual differences. The setting for teaching to be considered, things that are practicable. The time available also determines teaching method. Method selected should suit teacher, his personality, that is, teacher and capitalized method. You are best at modifying the technique and make it creative in manner. Utilize a lot of senses to allow for individual differences. Study section summary. In this study section, you have learned that instructional alternatives are very important in achieving the goals of a particular lesson. Learning process can be affected either positively or negatively, depending on how teacher applies the instructional alternative. Instructional alternatives should be given fair trial before you. We've come to the end of study section 6. Thank you.